Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to give you my top 5 underrated cubes of the last few years, like 2-3 years. I mean cubes that are still available today, that are still relevant and so on. And I'm going to do just hand scrambles as I talk about them, but I will solve them all at the end of the video so you can kind of see them in action, you know. Number 5, you know, number 5 is the, the Kung Fu Long Yuan. So this was released about the same time as the MF3RS1, I think, or maybe the MF3S. It's objectively not as good in terms of performance as a Little Magic or an MF3RS2, but if you compare it to like a Warrior W, MF3RS1, things like that, I think this gets overlooked, and it has, I mean, good enough performance, you know, corner cutting is perfectly adequate. But it has several nice things going for it. It has a really nice feel to the plastic. It's very smooth. It's just a pleasure to turn. And the pieces are very flat, unlike many cubes where you have kind of a rounding here on the side of the pieces. This feels completely flat, and overall it gives it a really nice, enjoyable feel. It's also quite stable, not too fast, not too slow. So something to consider maybe for like multi-blind or stuff like that, or just if you want an extra cube, a budget cube to have around. It's really nice. I really enjoy solving on it. I get some PBs on it. It's just a very nice cube that I think, I mean, the reviews were pretty positive, but I think it got just overshadowed by other ones. Number 4 is the Shangshu Penguin. I think it was overlooked just because it's Shangshu and people don't expect them to make really good speed cubes. But this is really enjoyable. It has a really unique feel to it. It's kind of like a GTS1, but a bit heavier, a bit more dense, if that makes sense. It also has this thing where you have the kept pieces, so you can make an illusion cube. I've made several videos about it. And it's quite cheap, so if you want to do that, this is one of the cheapest options, and it's still a good cube. But I would just recommend trying this cube if you're a bit of a collector. I mean, it's not going to be your new main or anything, especially because it's quite hard to magnetize. But if you're a bit of a collector, if you want to try something different, something that has an interesting feel, this is just very nice. And you know, feel matters. It's in terms of how much you practice, how much you enjoy practicing. It's not just about raw performance. If the cube feels nicer, you will be more inclined to use it, even if performance is not quite, you know what I'm saying. This is number 3, appropriately the Yan 3. So I think it's the only cube by Yan Cheng. Correct me if I'm wrong, but and I really like this cube. It's kind of, I would say it's like a Volk, but what I like most about it is it's super stable. When you're just doing random turns, it doesn't feel amazingly stable, but I mean, I'm sure having said that, now I will do a solve and it will be full of lockups, but whenever I practice on this cube, I'm amazed by how nicely everything flows. There's just no issues. It's just super dependable, you know. And I think it got overlooked partly because it came out when magnetic cubes were starting to become a thing. So the whole stability thing was not so much of a selling point. But it can at the same time be more stable and faster than a Volk. And feels otherwise quite similar, sounds similar because of the big holes in the corners. So again, the reviews were pretty positive. I don't think anybody said it sucked, but I think it's underappreciated. Yeah. Number 2 is the 2018 Dayan Zenshi. Now, out of the box, no, it's not good. And so I get why it's underrated. I mean, why people don't praise it. The shades, I like them, but the classic old shades, they didn't go for a half bright or full bright. But you can get a black one which has, you know, fine stickers. But out of the box, it's these parts here feel very sharp. That goes away with breaking in. And it's just very fast, very unstable, very uncontrollable. So not great. But if you're willing to go past that, if you're willing to set it up, dump a ton of heavy lube, and I mean a whole lot of it, like for lubing a Thunderclap V1, for example, and to add magnets, because really it is wildly unstable, well then it's actually really, really nice. It has a really super quiet sound. It feels extremely smooth. It is 57 millimeters. Some people don't like that, some don't care. Some might miss that size, and this is a nice contemporary option, you know. But yeah, it feels really nice, and it is really very quiet. And with the magnets and the lube and so on, it's actually super stable and very controllable, and overall just a pleasure to solve. I think if it had been factory magnetic, reviews would have been much more positive. So I would actually recommend trying this one if you feel like, you know, experimenting, putting magnets in it and so on. But or if you see me at a competition, try it out. It's really, really nice. And number 1 is gonna be, oh by the way, I want to give an honorable mention to the Shangshu Penguin V2 magnetic, which is kind of a weird cube. It's out of the box, it's insanely fast. It's the fastest cube I've ever tried, to the point where you don't feel the magnets at all. And actually, once you set it up and you lube it and so on, the magnets feel quite strong. So it's a weird thing. And performance isn't amazing. It's fine, but there's you know, it's a bit outdated, to be honest. But then again, with the magnets, you don't really need that much corner cutting. It's very, very stable. And it remains quite fast. You can't make it really slow. I especially enjoy it for one-handed. For two-handed, occasionally, but I wouldn't use it full-time. But it is pretty cheap, and again, if you're a bit of a collector, if you just want to try something different, it's worth it. So yeah, number 1 is gonna be actually the Yushin Little Magic. Now, that might sound silly. This is a magnetic one, because obviously everyone says the Little Magic is a very good cube. Probably most people would say it's the best budget cube, that or the MF3RS2. So how can it be underrated? Well, the thing is, most people agree it's one of the best budget cubes. I would say it's actually one of the best cubes, period. And actually even not a magnetic one, but a well broken in, re-stickered, nicely set up Little Magic is, in my opinion, one of the best cubes you can get. I have tried many flagships. They're just as good, if not better in many ways, in terms of how sturdy they feel, how nice the stickers are, whatever, how the fact that they have magnets and so on. But the Little Magic is actually what I used in my to get my official PB, and it's what I chose to use, one without magnets, because it just feels very stable, very reliable. I just get good times on it, and I think another strong point, actually, I have one here that's I did maybe 3 solves on ever. I just keep it as I have many spares. And this one is not set up at all. I just keep it to have that feel of having it out of the box. And all the little magics I've had felt the same out of the box. And I would say this is one of the best feeling cubes out of the box. Because many flagships, you will need to set them up, you will need to lube them, tension them and so on. This is amazingly fast and efficient and functional right out of the box. The stickers aren't great, but they're fine, they work. They're not as bad as the earlier ones, although the shades are still questionable. And I would argue that if you gave a random out-of-the-box little magic to Felix Zemtex or some super fast cuber, and they were warmed up and so on, if you just gave them a non-magnetic one just like that, they would like get a sub 8 or some really super good time. I think it's just it doesn't have everything, and you can get a magnetic one and so on, but it's one of the best cubes, not the best, one of the best cubes available today, and it would still be if it were like 20 bucks or something. So that's why I think it's underrated in that sense. It's seen as just a budget cube, but it's more than that, I think. So that's it. Let me know what you think in the comments, and see you later. Bye.